So there's a number of takeaways I had reading this article. I mean, the first is that commercial property may not have taken the bulk of its sort of pandemic-related hit yet because of the sort of shape and tenure of some of those agreements.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, only about 21% of the pre-pandemic occupant level is now in New York City offices, according to Castle Systems. So you've really got only a fifth of the New York City workforce back in the office, even though, as I'm sure we've all seen, Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and others are inviting or really mandating that people come back to the office either recently or soon. So you're starting to see some of the big corporations ask people to come back, but you've still got a real absence of workers around the city. Availability of office property, Wilf, is at an all-time high right now since records have been kept. And you also want to consider the fact that the average office lease is probably anywhere from 7 to 10 years. So people that my colleague Peter and I talked to estimated that about an eighth of any given set of office tenants has their lease coming up for renewal every given year. So if you think about last year, a year of tumult, this year, continued tumult, next year, you're probably thinking about, if you're a lessor who needs to think about that renewal or that roll off. So for 3 years or so, we've had confusion and sort of changing plans about whether to come back to the office in the same size. And so there's quite a lot of the market that is up for grabs or will be soon.
And so you've catalogued some of the inventive tactics being employed to try and get people to keep with their rents. I mean, really talking about bars in offices? I mean, I quite like the idea of that.
I know. I was laughing a little bit. I mean, it's a big ask when you think about what landlords are trying to do here. I mean, I visited the Starrett Lehigh building. That's where they have the speakeasy that I wrote about, the 600 square foot hidden bar that's going to be available largely to tenants and their clients. So they're talking about having special events, fashion week, art installations in a public space that they have that's available for rent. At the same time, they're building kind of a leading edge food hall that's going to have a variety of cuisines. They'll have the speakeasy, and that'll be open to the public. But obviously, it's also a benefit for tenants. Other buildings I'm thinking of, like 1740 Broadway, which is a Blackstone-owned building. It's in the mid-50s, not far from Central Park South. They are sort of remodeling the lobby level and the second level to have a private tenants club. Their marketing materials show you pictures of people doing yoga, people sitting in this kind of state-of-the-art tenants club that looks a bit like an airport lounge. You've got working, meeting, laptops, a barista. The only reason I say it's interesting to me is it's a big ask in a way for the office building. There seems to be an operative thesis that workers want community. They want to engage. If they're going to come back to the office, they want to sit with their colleagues around the water cooler at the very least, and maybe the speakeasy at the very most, and talk shop or relax. They want to bring their clients there. And of course, the landlords are trying to enhance these buildings as an interesting and fun destination, not just a place to do your work.
Yeah, I mean, besides offering things like speakeasies and fun stuff in the office, Kate, what other concessions are they making to get companies to renew these leases and get them to keep coming back? How much of a financial hit are some of these developers and the owners taking?
Well, the head of leasing for SL Green, which is one of the city's biggest landlords, said in a recent analyst call that the concessions they were having to make were, quote unquote, brutal. So from what we're told, pretty much every lease renewal discussion right now involves two things. One is rent concessions. So whether they're throwing in 3 free months of rent in, say, a 7-8 year lease, or 9 free months of rent where they're actually reducing the rent, or they're working with tenants who want to cut their space in half or cut their space by 2/3. Those things are certainly going on. People are also asking for what's referred to in the industry as TI, which is tenant improvement. And that's all sorts of remodeling and reshaping of the space, sometimes gratis.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.